We're already on, so I'm getting all of this right now.
Okay.
Are you watching? Yeah, will you let us, I was gonna say, will you let us know if there's any comments or anything?
Oh,
Unless you can go
can
on
I
yours.
see? But
Oh no, it's okay. I'm gonna go on hers. That way we can keep track of that.
I want to see before I can get on there though.
Yeah. Already hit going live, so.
So does it notify people when you're on?
It should, yes.
Okay, I put water there for us.
Okay. Do you got your phone?
I think it's on the table.
I hope I don't get this off. I'll leave now. Okay, it's showing you up here.
Okay. Yeah, we're already on live. I'm just waiting for people to join.
After I put a tissue on it. Is it going to record us and then we repost it?
Yeah, it's recording right now.
Okay.
Okay, alright, get on so we can see if there's any comments or anything.
Hope this stupid thing's still in my ear.
Just me.
Alright, we're just getting situated a little bit here. Don't mind us.
Okay, where am I?
You might need to log into something else. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see any comments or anything yet.
Probably because you're logged in as this too. Alright.
Look at that sound. I don't think we should put that on.
Hmm?
Oh, your remote.
Yeah, I haven't connected it yet though. So, can you see both of us?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, we're already good?
Okay. Trying to find music.
Okay. We're looking for some music.
I'll just stick it in the background. Just a rotation. That's so not helpful.
Just kind of look at
We've done that one
Somebody else just came out.
Hello, we're getting started.
Somebody else just came out. Oh, that's just, I don't know who this is. John, Joe.
Okay,
You, Joe.
all right.
It's freaking weird.
That's what I just said. We got something going on. Hell yeah.
Okay, April.
Right on, let's rock out today.
Yeah.
Hey. Well, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us live. Finally, we get to go live. We are the Witching Hour with your hosts
Miranda.
and Nina. Today we're going to talk about cleansings, spiritual cleansings, and why we do them. And we're going to start off with Miranda. What happens when you don't cleanse yourself spiritually and you are in the habit of doing work or doing readings, doing cleansings on other people?
I'm a hot mess. Usually for me, especially if we've done mediumship, I definitely got to go home and cleanse. I don't know if you feel the same way. If you do mediumship, I feel like you can handle the energy differently than I do. A lot of times with me, I feel like a lot of times too, it's because I'm a Virgo and I just like, you know. What do you feel when you have to do it?
So when I know, like, when my energy is like dragging, I get very serious in my work, you know, because I'm a clown. I like to have fun. I like to talk shit, and you know, I just, while I'm doing readings or mediumship, I don't really get tired with mediumship. And the thing that does kick my ass is cleansing other people. I do take their stuff, and you know, it goes through me, on me, and some of it cleans, and sometimes I take that shit home like a monkey on my back and I don't even know, even after I've like sprayed myself down or, you know, burnt some sage around me or dragon's blood, whatever it is. You know, we all need to have spiritual cleanses, you know, at least every so often, because the energy that people throw, it sticks. Okay, you can have jealous energies, envious energies. These things will weigh you down, and they will keep you from moving forward, and they will block your roads, or cerrar los caminos in Spanish, you know. And you don't want that to happen. So if you start to feel like there's things are going wrong with you, it's not necessarily all the time witchcraft. Most of the time it's just heavy ass energy
that needs to be cleansed off.
And you can pick it up from other people being thrown at you, intentionally or unintentionally. You can pick it up from going into a space where there's negative energies.
Or you have certain family you don't like to be around because you feel that. Or certain family that gossips. We've all heard of mal ojo, you know, the evil eye. There's reasons why we wear the things that we wear. So for me, when I know that I picked up certain things, it represents itself differently. If I have people throwing things, sorry guys, I'm getting over a cold. I'm healthy, but this one's lingering. Anyways, so it shows itself differently in my body. If I have spirits that are attached, I know I'm gonna have sleep disturbances. If it's, like I was talking to Cece earlier, like if it's evil eye, like mal ojo, I'll throw up foam. It's awful. But I've learned that over the years, how my body processes it and responds. A lot of times for people that I have to cleanse and they have the evil eye on them, because I am the official A cleanser here, y'all. You have not had an A cleansing like mine, I suggest you come in and you check it out. We're also offering a candle cleanse as well. So just if you're interested, get at us, let us know, call the shop, speak to Cece, she can get you on our schedule. But for a lot of people, when I do cleanse them, they'll come in and they'll complain of headaches, you know, problems sleeping, you know, they feel heavy, they feel tired. I sometimes get the shakes. I don't know about you. It just kind of depends on what we pull. But where we do this so often, I feel like our body processes it differently.
It does. And like, you know, just with my history, I do have like low immunity. So that is where I usually get attachments, is with my health. And so I know right away. And sometimes it seems like I'm always fucking sick, okay? Just because there's always attachments or always something there that I'm having to clear off. And it is a constant thing, especially when you do daily work on other people. So other things that you can look for as far as needing a cleansing: dead plants in your home.
Yes,
you know,
yes, definitely. If you ever go into a place where you see dead plants, a lot of times you know that there's going to be negative energy there. Or if you're a flower person, like I love flowers. I love flowers. I will notice if there's certain things in my space, if my flowers are not lasting as long as they normally do.
And you know, there's a saying too, when somebody gives you a plant or flowers and it dies really fast, they didn't have the correct intentions.
They didn't have the right intention.
And that is
grew up
so
with that
true.
too.
So true. Yeah. Also, other things that could happen is like things falling apart in your home or your house, your car. You know, just things breaking one after another. That is a round of negative energy, bad luck, people like to say, that is lingering. Okay. Also, stomach issues is a big thing.
Yes.
Whether you can shit, you can't shit, bubble guts, and it's running through your whole house. The whole house is infected, right? So that usually means there is something in the home. If more than one person is sick to their stomach, yeah, it could be a bacterial infection, but also there is something in the home if it keeps going around and around. Okay.
See,
be aware.
Love that you said that. I love that you said that. There we go. Yeah, again. Sorry. So with me, what I want to say to, growing up, I was always taught, you know, and I still do this to this day with my children, and even with myself, that we are not at our best. We cannot fight off spiritual attacks when we are sick, when our children are sick, when things are off, spirits get called in more. So at least that's what I was taught growing up. So I was always taught about the glass of water trick. As I got older, I learned different ways to do things. The rosemary underneath the bed or underneath your pillow, those type of things.
Yeah.
But I love that you bring that up, because that's very important. Sometimes, you know, it is something, it could be just a cold, but sometimes you still need to remedy the stuff for the cold in order to heal the body.
Right.
Sage, which I have somewhere. I go through this shop and pull all kinds of stuff for us to do.
Another thing I wanted to bring up before she brings out the sage is your jaw or your teeth hurting. Okay, this is a form of attachment. You have been invaded by attachments. Okay, this is something that does attach to usually the back of your neck, which is called God's mouth. Right, that's usually where attachments go, unless it is like generational, unless it's bloodline, unless it is thrown at you for a specific place. If you picked up an attachment, it's going to go right here, right there. Okay, and teeth hurting, jaw hurting, like this part of your neck getting kinked for no reason, you know. Yeah.
Muscle spasms that are not normal.
Oh yeah, muscle spasms.
Definitely muscle spasms that are not normal. I feel like witchy people. I've got to think of a good way to say it. A lot of times we get attacked through our feet. I believe that's the reason why there's an old wives' tale. My great grandmother Grace, who I believe is a healer to this day, but she was covert. She would always say, cover your feet. Cover your feet. You don't know what's trying to get in.
Right. And I'm a hillbilly, so I probably pull in all kinds of shit. I come to the shop and I will kick off my shoes and I'm barefoot. Like, I don't care.
We're heathens. What can we say? If we didn't have to wear clothes, we probably wouldn't wear
Yeah.
those either.
You know, and the reasons why we do need these healings is, yes, you can probably get through and over this, but you want to be your best self. You want your spirit, your mentally, physically, and spiritually, you want to be
Yes.
balanced. And this just brings a lot more connection to earth, to universe, to others, the oneness, you know. And when you have these things blocking you, you're not as connected as you can be, which in turn does bring in the bad luck, which in turn does stop you from manifesting.
The chaos.
It does bring in chaos too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so this is something that people will ask, well, when do I have to do it? And I don't tell them, oh, you have to be back in 45 days, and you know what I mean? Fuck all that. I tell them, you come back when you feel like you need it.
And that's a big thing too. Know your body, know your space. If something don't feel off, in all honesty, it's probably not. Like I've always taught my children. I know you've taught your children. We tell each other in the shop as well. Again, because we are a family here. We're very close knit. If something doesn't feel right, chances are it isn't, and you should probably get out of there.
Yes. And it will just continue to, like, even people that aren't witchy, people that just go through their random days, you know, it comes to a point of a breaking point where they need some kind of breakthrough. And usually that's when they are looking for Jesus or trying to find some alternative answers to their chaos and to their downness. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
you know?
like you actually feel down. You don't feel yourself. There's a lot of melancholy. There's a lot of blueness. There's a lot of depression. Things that you wouldn't normally feel. We've seen it here in the shop when we've done cleansings. We've seen it out when we go out into actual house cleansings as well. You know, like how previous episode we talked about that little man, you know, and how he danced, and now he's listening to music again, and he's going outside and he's enjoying his life again. Right. When I do egg cleanses, depending on what I've pulled off of them or if they practice, I tell people, if you practice, you need to cleanse yourself more. You need to cleanse your space more. It's going to be more frequent. For people that are not involved in the type of work that we do, I tell them, you know, get it at least, if all else fails, do one cleansing at least once a year. Right. If I prefer at least twice a year. Come in every 6 months. And the reason for that is because it doesn't just affect our health, it affects our surroundings, it affects our children, it affects our jobs, and people will laugh, but even our vehicles can take in some of these things as well.
What I've noticed a lot lately is mental health. It is a big issue right now.
It has been a big issue right now.
Big issue. It's the mental health, feeling crazy, feeling alone, you know, and I don't know.
Just disconnected altogether.
You know, I don't know the statistics on suicide rates, but it just feels like it's just happening more often nowadays, you know, due to that the mental disconnection. And, you know, when you look at this world, not only do you have to worry about physical ailments, you know what I mean? There are spiritual ailments, and, you know, some people in the religions are waiting for the spiritual war, but we're actually in it right now, you know? Yes. And so being in this spiritual war, and you are somebody that does good for people or brings them relief, peace, and love, you will get attachments, or
you will feel it more, you know, you'll feel
things
it
that
strongly.
will counteract what you believe in or what you put out, because they want that to stop, you know?
Yes, definitely. I feel like us here at the shop as well, we get attacked quite often. And I believe that comes from things that we've pulled off people, whether it was sent to them or they just picked it up. But what I wanted to say is sage. I know a lot of people have heard about sage. I know that there is some controversy about sage. I will tell you, being native myself, as long as you approach it with respect as anything should be done, it's not a problem. You know, you can't use like some of the more smudging ones. You probably shouldn't, unless it's been okayed. You know, more of the sacral type of ones. But sage is a very good tool. Even with people being sick in your home, it has antimicrobial properties, so it actually kills the bacteria and stuff in the home. And I find when I've stopped saging as much is when everybody in the house gets sick. So, and growing up, being Native, we were always taught feathers. Feathers to keep them in your car, to keep them in your home. We do all kinds of crazy stuff, y'all. So light the sage and fan it towards you, you know. And as you're fanning it, you're thinking of things that you want to be removed from you. I tell people, you know, cleanse your ears all the time. Sometimes we hear really, really rough things. And with everything that's going on in the world right now as well, sometimes we need to cleanse those thoughts and that out of our ears and off of us.
What's important with that is because words are powerful.
Yes.
The tongue is powerful. And any words that you take in through your body, they can also curse you. You know what I mean? So this is something that you definitely have to take seriously. If you've had a bad day, like I was talking earlier, I don't watch a lot of the news. I don't watch a lot of things like that. I understand what's going on and I know what's going on, but I will sit there and dwell on it, and some people do, and it makes you sick inside. And I can't absorb that energy from my television because I need to get up and come to work, and I need to have a positive attitude the next day. And I'm not going to do that sitting and watching all of this sad stuff that makes me cry, that makes me hurt, you know, with the compassion that I have for people. So yes, anytime I hear something, yes, cleaning out the ears is very good.
Yes. Or I mean, even doing a simple ritual in the morning when you get up to help protect your spirit as you go out into the world that day, or a simple ritual before you go to bed. I know that we tend to get a lot of crap from spiritual people. Well, not even spiritual people that are church going. I believe that your higher self is called to you wherever you need to be. So if you are a church going person, you have certain prayers and things that you can do to help cleanse your body. Believe in it wholeheartedly. It is the faith that saves. That's what I will always say. It is the faith that saves. Now, whether it's our deities that we work with, whether it's, you know, nature, saints like that, it is very important. It is the faith that saves.
Right. And people will hear me all the time, go back to your main faith base, you know, because I'm not nobody to judge what their faith is. And that's where your strength is. That's where
your grounding first started.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So, yes, with cleansing, like with the Bible, Book of Psalms. Okay, I'm always gonna go there.
Psalms is very powerful.
Psalms,
and we use it a lot in hoodoo at root work.
So Psalms 92 is like deflection or removal of enemies. It is a protection prayer. It's a protection prayer. But also Psalms 109, if you follow right after with Psalms 109, that is more of a cleansing and keeping you cleansed and saved as well as protected. So
I like to use the 23rd Psalm a lot with people. The 23rd Psalm, I grew up very Catholic. I was brought up in the Catholic Church. My great-grandmother Grace was so religious that they believed, you know, she could have been a saint herself because she prayed so often and she was always in church. I think that's just how it was for, excuse me, for some of us.
Right.
But I was always taught the 23rd Psalm. Whenever you're scared, I like that you bring up the 91st Psalm because I was taught that later on, but definitely the 23rd Psalm, especially for children. I taught that to my children first because I, again, really strict Catholic. I went to catechism, Catholic school, all that fun stuff. And
it helps with night terrors.
Yes, night terrors, definitely. Especially if they're just afraid. I was never one of those parents that was like, oh, it's not true. You know, again, listen to your children. Their eyes are purer than ours. You know, and they're able to see things better than we are.
Right. Yeah, and if you are having issues with family throwing stuff at you or keeping negative vibes around you, Psalms 52, y'all.
Yes.
Psalms 52 is going to help alleviate family members that go against you. The intention, it will pull them away from you. And so if they do decide to leave your side, it is because they didn't have the greatest intentions for you, your life, or your family. All right?
Yeah, I like that you brought that up. Let's see, what else would you like to
I was going to tell you, since you have the native background, when people cleanse their house, Okay, there's a lot of people that say you have to start at a certain area. What do you suggest?
So, me personally, when I grew up, you start from the back and work your way forward. Now, that is your back door. You know, you're going to pull it in. You're going to start from the bottom, work your way up. I always go through the house twice. Now, the reason I go through the house twice is because these little suckers, they like to hide.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you've got laundry, if you've got cluttered corners, you know,
Storage spaces.
Yes, storage spaces. And make sure you get in the closets, guys. I know it sounds strange, but a lot of stuff likes to hide in closets.
Or under the stairs.
Yes, under the stairs. Under the stairs. Remember that one house we went to? It was under the stairs, guys.
Yeah.
Under the stairs.
It always reminds me of people under the stairs.
Yes. I know, that was like
Okay.
crazy. But that was a good one. Remember how he came out of the roof and like
Right.
knocked that girl out? That was cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Okay.
do that.
So you can self cleanse. Okay. You don't all necessarily need to go to somebody else. You can self cleanse, and there are simple things that you can do to self cleanse.
Yes.
So you can take a salt bath, and you know, when you are witchy, when you are spiritual, use whatever the hell you have. Like, just what you have.
Intent.
Your intention is what's gonna help you. So you can get table salt, Epsom salt, Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, whatever it is. Throw some in your tub. You know, soak in it for a minute, but do not get out that tub till all that water is down. You don't want to take it with you.
Definitely.
You don't want to take it on your feet, and then you're gonna stand up and wash yourself off, but allow yourself to air dry.
Yes.
So that is a simple way
That is
to
another-
cleanse yourself.
That is another thing. I think when we get people that need to do cleanses at home, they forget. You know, you don't want to towel dry. You want to air dry.
Right. And this is more of an aromatic and energetic cleanse. Okay. So this is the outer surfaces, and
Yeah.
yeah. So she has some things over there that we're gonna show you. Okay.
Have you ever used this?
I
before?
have.
Yes.
Okay. So
So
acumulado.
yeah, acolada. It is bay rum. I know a lot of more of like the Boricuas probably know more about it. My stepdad was actually Puerto Rican, so I know a little bit. But I was really shocked when they found it. You can use this, okay? Don't, again, my advice is not to be replaced for medical advice, y'all. But I do know some tips and tricks because my grandmother, she knew some things. I was taught to use this in a very spiritual, different way, and we've used it for my children when they were teething. I've used it when I've had a toothache. But I know too, for a lot of people that gym work, you go to the gym and you're sore and you're in pain. Say you worked out really hard. Military people, okay? You know, if it ain't raining, you ain't training. So what I tell them too is take a bath, pour some of this in here, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna heal those sore muscles. We do sell this in the shop. I don't believe you can get it really anywhere else except for, you know, I think we specially order this in.
Yeah, it reminds me kind of because it does have an alcohol base. Rubbing alcohol. Isopropyl, I guess. I don't know what kind of alcohol it is, but it does have an alcohol base. And so what it does usually when you have fever, it draws shit out of you. So this is exactly what it does. It draws the pain out. It draws fever out. It draws headaches out. It draws, you know, whatever you can think of out of your body. And
it
works
it's
really
wonderful. My grandmother, she used to put it on us when I'm accident prone. I fall down the stairs all the time. I fall up the stairs. I trip over cordless phones. This was really great for scrapes and cuts and bruises. I use it here in the shop for very serious cleanses. That's what I was taught. But yes, this is amazing. We do sell it here in the shop. Again, you don't need very much.
No.
It goes quite a long way, and it's wonderful.
And it does break through heavy energies as well.
Yes, it does. And I've used it myself.
Like Florida water. You use it
Yes.
like a Florida water.
Florida water.
Speaking. Okay, so people don't know this, but if you have high anxiety, spray this shit up around your face. Inhale. Do it 3 times, and your anxiety will go down. This is going to start to calm, and it is the scent of it, and it is what it contains as well. So what it does is it just kind of changes your brain, I guess,
It changes.
to think of something else other than the anxiety. So it will definitely clear that. I love the way it smells. It's just refreshing. It feels brand new.
Light,
So
airy.
with residual energy, which
Yes.
is the energy that lingers around after you've cleansed. Yes, there's residual energy. I like to spray that around because it just feels like it heals the environment.
And it really does. And the reason this, a lot of times people down south, they would put it out in their homes in a bowl of water when people walk through the door.
Oh yeah.
And they would splash themselves because it's very hot and humid. So they would use that. What people don't know is a lot of times they would put it by their doors to catch things and if people had bad intentions.
Mm-hmm.
We use it all the time in Santeria for that specific reason.
Yeah. Okay, what else we got?
Okay, so say that you're in an apartment complex, say that you've got people around you that have asthma and you can't burn things. We have some of the most amazing sprays here in the shop. That's our aura spray
Aura spray.
and Rue. I'm trying not to say guys, and it's so hard.
So this one will clear out emotions, it'll clear your health, it'll take like negative debris, psychic debris,
Yes,
anything out. So
yes.
anything with your aura, if you do have psychic abilities, you know, and you do feel blocked or disconnected, aura spray is really good. Everything is made here. And
Yes.
this is $6, y'all. Like, our stuff is not overly priced whatsoever. It's like,
And
to me, it's underpriced.
Yes, yes, and not just that. You know, how much is your health? How much is your health worth to you? That's just the way I'm gonna put it. A lot of people get upset because you're charged for cleansings. You know, I know that both of us have actually worked on the barter system. Now, you need to talk to us before we do anything, but I mean, in dire situations, we have done that.
Yep. I have no problem bartering whatsoever.
Yeah, no, and it goes back to the old ways. You know, help me, help you. Let's go from there. But again,
Right.
how important is your health? In Santeria, we're always taught to ask for good health because again, without that good health, we can do nothing.
Right.
You know.
So this goes more. Rue is mostly used in what I've seen is in the
Like
Hispanic
Florida.
cultures.
Yes, yes.
In the Hispanic cultures, so it does break through like negative attachments. It calls out the spirits, negative spirits, and removes them. And so this is the shit that you see them spraying on, and they're beating you with the little plant. Okay.
Yes.
So
which
yeah,
we're
this
still
is
working on.
the
doing
little
that.
plant is what's in here. Okay. I want to beat somebody so bad with the Rue plant. You just don't even know.
I said beat me.
So Rue goes back to more of the Mexican Hispanic cultures where they use that a lot. They grow it a lot, and Puerto Rican cultures.
Boricua.
You know, they use that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make that a little note in our button thing.
Boricua.
Okay.
We're
But
strange, y'all.
it's also, this leaves a film around your aura that wards against negativity as well. So this is also not only removing, but it's protecting. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I was taught about it through a different part, but I will say it is very strong. If you're looking for something stronger than sage, Rue, we sell the plant. Well, not the actual live plant, but we do sell the leaves here. I would use them in a smudge if you can. I've been known to boil them and do a spiritual bath with them. I know that people will use it for money spells as well. So yes, definitely. Since we are on the whole good prosperity thing, do you want to talk about, so as far as I know, we are one of the only shops that carry snakeskin. So, we won't get into how that happened, but
So I don't know anything about snakeskin.
so I came across snakeskin in my actual use of root work, kind of conjure type of stuff. Now for that, I want to say here there's always nifty little things in our packages, and they go over what they're used for. Snakeskin is good for protection bottles, especially for witchy folk. I know a lot of people that actually use it for other stuff. Again, it's used in a lot of conjure and root work. So I want to put that out there. And Native American work. well, we won't get into that. You can use it with your crystals. It's good to bring in prosperity, you know, good, happy moments. I know it seems scary, but I promise not everything that seems scary is scary. So.
Yeah, right. I'm like looking at this like, ooh, okay.
She's like, okay, not the candle, y'all. Not the
I
candle.
am not a buggy person or a reptile or any kind of person like that.
I'm like, oh, cute, but keep it over there.
Yeah.
And let's see.
What do we got next?
Okay, so we went over our sprays. Do you want to go over our different sprays?
Right.
So
Okay.
that's sage. So say that you can't burn it.
In your office.
Yes. Actually, I used it a lot in my office.
Yeah, sometimes you need to. You surround yourself. And also take salt and surround your freaking office. Like
yes.
your chair, whatever it is, so people aren't fucking with you at work. You know, because we all know that there's that little group of people.
Especially in the office. Office environment's very catty. I feel like
it reminds me of high school.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I know we use this a lot. So you can go ahead and touch on that one if you want.
Okay. So dragon's blood, it is a type of incense or what is the little
resin.
stone? Resin, there you go. That also removes demonic sources, okay? It removes negative energies. It removes a lot of different things. But not only that, it does bring in protection. It also brings in I almost feel peace with this, okay?
Yes.
So I'm gonna say a sense of peace with the dragon's blood. So it's really good, especially in a spray, because you get that shit burning, it burns so fast. The resin, everything, it burns so fast.
Yes, and it's nice. And it's pay attention to the way your things burn as well. That'll say a lot of what you've got in your home, the way the smoke goes. You know, and if you have questions, please reach out to us. Hit up our email. Right. Guys, it's there for your use. It's there because if you have questions. We have not had
anybody go to our email.
Go to our email.
It's on our page. It is the witching hour, aasb@gmail.com. Yeah. I was saying it wrong the first episode, but now
we've got all these people on the wrong page.
Clary Sage. If you are clairvoyant or have gifts of any type, this is a psychic cleanse, okay? This is definitely something you want to keep around you, especially if you go into Walmart. You know, after you come out that bitch, you better spray your ass down.
Yes.
You don't want to have all that stuck. Well, you know what I mean. Like,
no, I get it.
I won't even go into Walmart, barely to the parking lot, just because I'm not the type that I get overwhelmed with a lot of people around. But there is something about that is so deep and dense. Like, I will walk in, like, and I can't even catch my damn breath.
Yes,
you know,
I'm the same way. What are you doing, Walmart? Hook us up with a gift card.
Also, you can use this in your meditation.
Yes.
When you're trying to meditate or go into trance work, any type of manifestation, this helps you get to that state that you need to get to in order to meditate and bring those things in.
Okay. Grounding spray. Now, I will talk on this because, it's amazing. If you're feeling disconnected, you're feeling flighty, you're feeling airy, and we've all been there. I had to learn about grounding, unfortunately, when my husband passed. And I was a hot mess, guys. And then I thought it was a great idea to go. Do you remember how a few years ago they did the Lion Gate opening? And
yes.
It was this huge thing. So I begged my friend. I was like, please, let's go to this. And so we went out there. We did this whole drumming session. And it was intense. It was so intense. And then me, being me, because, D sometimes, I was like, I want all my chakras to align and I want to feel better. Nope. I jacked myself up that day. I was walking around barefooted, dancing in the park. I left that session probably, I looked like I was high as shit. But, I mean, it was a spiritual high, not a chemical high. But I had to come back down, and coming back down was a little bit hard and scary. Grounding spray. I know a lot of people that'll be like, go hug a tree. That doesn't always work for people. This is...
You have to find what works for you,
Yes, you have to find what works for you, whether it's water, whether it's nature. Get in touch with who you are.
After any type of cleanse, you should ground anyways. But this because you want to bring yourself back to reality and one with Mother Earth.
And who you are.
And I'm going to, grounding is so important just because, the way I see it is, our Earth is on a rotation. You know, whether it's simulated or not, I don't give a fuck. It's still on a rotation. The planets go around us, and when we're in this rotation, and we aren't connected to Mother Earth or connected and grounded, then our spirits are getting flopped all over the damn place. Any little thing will knock you off track. So any little bad news, any little trauma will knock you off, and you will have to start from 0 to get back to 100. Okay, so when you are grounded, you have more clarity, you have more discernment, and these things don't hit you at quite as hard as they would as if you were not grounded. Okay, so that's really important to stay grounded.
Yes.
And that's the way I explain it. Okay,
I love it. No, I love it. There are some really nifty grounding mats that you can purchase. There are grounding shoes. We've all played with them in the shop, and they work. They definitely work. You guys missed that. You would have loved that part right there. Let's see. What else do we have? We have Palo Santo and clove water.
Okay, so there's a misconception with Palo Santo. A lot of people use it to cleanse their homes.
Yes.
Okay. No.
But
no.
I love that you're touching on that. We also we carry these. No, we carry the sticks as well as a nice little powder.
Okay.
So the spray.
What I'm gonna let you know, Palo Santo is more of a healing wood. It's a healing spray. It is meant for the aftermath of cleansing. Okay. This is what you use it for. You don't use it to cleanse because it's not gonna cleanse correctly. It brings in healing. It brings in
goodness,
happiness,
peace,
happy
joy. Vibes. That's what I always tell people. Do it afterwards. Or if you know you're going into a very particular rough cleansing, say you've lost somebody, you know already going in that cleansing is going to be rough. Burn it with sage. Burn it with rue. Burn it with something else. Don't just go in with this alone. It'll lift the vibration. It'll be great for a few minutes or a day or so, but afterwards you're going to feel that heaviness again. You need to clear out that heaviness in order to bring in the goodness.
And Palo Santo is also known as like the sacred wood. That's basically
holy
what
wood.
It means.
Holy
wood. If you've had a family member pass, burn it because it heals the souls and the hearts of the people that are grieving.
Yes.
As well as the spirit that is leaving. Okay?
Yes, it helps their transition on an easier level.
Little pieces. And the wood.
I do believe that we have the incense as well somewhere. I didn't grab it, but we have it. Now, let's get into more stuff. You want to do this?
Well, this is our little charcoal, okay? If you've seen people burn in the shells or in their little...
Resin.
Yeah.
I know people will burn even the sticks. I've done it myself when I've had a hard time getting things lit.
So this is a little charcoal. You start it up, you put it in your little shell. We're getting one right now.
Thank you. As she hides from the camera.
So you get it in your little shell. You're gonna put it in, light it up, and anybody knows who tries to burn sage or Palo Santo, sometimes it just don't stay lit.
And
there's reasons. There's reasons for it.
Yes, I love that. You always throw the good stuff in.
There's reasons for it not staying lit, usually because it is very dense where you're trying to light it. You need to light it somewhere else to get it going. Okay.
Or you need the hot stuff.
The charcoal, you lay it on top of there, and it's going to continue to keep it burning. Resin, it will keep it burning. It's just a nifty little tool that we use for cleansings to keep shit going.
Yes, and we do actually sell some blends here that are already cut up and put together. So if you're wanting to do that, come in. We do have the bowls, we have the stand, we have the charcoal disc, and we have those blends. If you are one of those people that like to work with resins, we do carry the resins. Do you want to touch on the copal?
It does clear, cleanse, and it purifies. This goes straight to like a deeper than energetic. This is more internally, physically, and spiritually. So depending on how you use it, you have to know how to use it, okay? So this is for a deeper type of cleanse if you know that you're needing removal of curses or witchcraft or even generational stuff. This is probably something that you want to turn to.
And we use it a lot during the shifts of the planet. We use it a lot during the moons, eclipses. you know, things like that. We use it a lot in cleansings here. Again, if you guys have questions or anything, just ask. There is no such thing as a silly question. I feel like us in this spiritual,
Right.
you know, if you're unsure, you know, going forward, we need to bridge that gap for ourselves.
Yeah, and just so you know, like I've learned a lot from Miranda and from the shop owner here, Cece, you know, because I wasn't graced to have a mentor or a father or mother spiritually. So basically have learned everything on my own, and through my guides, I just follow what they say. So I've learned a lot from you guys, and I so appreciate it because now I know the whys and the don'ts, and you know what for, because I like to ask all those questions. I'm nosy as hell.
But your guides, you give them credit too,
Yeah.
because there's stuff that I've seen you do, and I'm like, oh, okay, so she didn't need help with that, and they're leading her on the right path. Don't ever doubt your intuition. Don't ever doubt those that came before us. You know, I was always taught, you know, we don't walk this path alone. We've
Right.
got those that came before us. We got those that are going to come after us, and the ones that walk alongside of us.
Right.
You know. So, as I start coughing. Okay. All right, so I showed this last time. It's a love bath, but we offer different spiritual baths and cleanses here. Come check them out. You have questions. A lot of times they already have, you know, instructions in them. Let's see, what else? We do have
Soaps.
Yes, yes. So we do have soaps along with our regular baths. There is one for quita maldición, to get rid of the bad. There's some other ones. We actually sell the plants here. A lot of the plants we do have here, yes, they are in a dried version, but that's only so we can keep them longer. You know.
So one thing I'm gonna bring up, ladies, with the soap, if you have a partner or somebody in your family that does not believe in spiritual cleanses, but you know damn well they need something, slip a bar of soap up in the bathtub and tell them to wash their body. You know, this one's a Florida water soap.
I love this one. This works with the Santa Muerte, the Holy Death. It has a little nifty talisman that comes with it. There's a little prayer that's included with it. I have used her on multiple occasions. I do work closely with her. My daughter is actually the one who brought her to. I've always known of her, but I was scared to work with her because she's tough. But definitely, this is a good one. I don't know if you've used it. Have you?
I haven't used the soap, but I've worked with her just in bargaining, you know, when I've had to help people get rid of
certain things
that have been thrown at them. So yeah, I haven't used the soap, but I mean, if you're trying to do this with your man, okay, holy death, that doesn't mean they're gonna die, people. Okay, no, the holy death is a transition, so it is transforming them from the negative to the positive, or from certain aspects in their life that they're going through. Okay, so you're gonna keep the talisman, pray over the soap, use the talisman however you want to use it. Put that shit in the tub. There you go. Take all the other soaps out.
There
Take
you go.
all the other soaps out and body washes.
To wash their stuffs with. All right.
Okay, yeah.
I love this one. I just want to put out there. And for a lot of people, there's a lot of misconception around the Santa Muerte. Now, the reason there's this misconception, again, is because with a lot of stuff, Hollywood has taken it and hyped it up.
Yep.
Yes, I know people do darker work with this, but I want you to know that she was, from my study, she was a real woman. She suffered greatly. Mother. Yes, she suffered greatly in life. If you have questions, please just ask. We're here, again, to help. Yeah. But I wanted to put that out. A lot of people that work with her usually they started out orphans, or they didn't have a mother figure to go to, so they pray to her like a mother. Yes. And she will take care of her children. She does, definitely. And again, she was brought to me through wanting to work with her, through my daughter. But I've done my study, I've done my research. I know a lot of people who work with her, and if you work with her, I highly recommend the soap. If you don't work with her, I still recommend the soap. This is, again, it has the prayer included. It has a talisman that you use, and it works greatly. I mean, I've done different cleanses with her, and if you are a newbie or you don't know, this is a really, really good soap to try.
Yeah, and the talisman you just keep with you for protection after you do after you wash yourself.
And it brings good things in. So, lemongrass.
Oh, I love the way that smells.
Lemongrass. So we do sell this one in here. I grabbed it because a lot of us have gone through a really rough year. breakups, things like that. This can help sever a lot of those cords. So it's no surprise either. Lemongrass is used in breakup spells as well. So if you're going through a difficult breakup, this can help. It'll help sever those cords.
Yep.
What do you want to touch on that, any?
I've also seen lemongrass used in like the braiding with the tying spell. As even though it severs cords, it could also bring back together cords. Okay, that is another thing it does. But in order to clear yourself,
Yes, and clear the aura.
clear the aura. But cleansing yourself, you definitely want to get rid of old baggage, okay? And core connections are definitely old baggage.
Yes, and they're hard to say. It was a very difficult breakup. Say that it was one-sided. That will help greatly. That will help greatly. Not just for its healing properties, but for its removing properties as well. I did leave this one out because I felt like we both have used this quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Cloves, guys, cloves. It is amazing. I use cloves a lot. Yes, in gossip. I've used it for toothaches. Let's see.
My throat.
Her throat. And you can use this. Again, everything in the shop is natural, guys. We make it here in the shop. Again, it is not unreasonably priced.
Yep.
It works well. And I tell people, if you're walking into an environment, we've all been to those family parties, guys. We've all been to those family parties. We've had family come over. Spray some of this. There's also a trick that we can talk about later on getting certain family out of the house a little bit sooner.
Yeah. So also on the beauty aspect of it, because it is a natural herb.
Yes.
You can spray it on your skin. It's really good for the skin. It also promotes like hair growth. Okay. So you can wash it use it to wash your hair with. Oh, there was something that I had seen about spraying it on your armpits, but I'm not really sure about that. So I'm not going to misinform anything.
Lime. I know lime works really well on the pits. It's a little bit rough, but you put a little bit of salt and you take the lime and you scrub your pits with it, and it helps, it helps with the darkening of that area. And it also helps cleanse it to where it kills the bacteria and stuff that's there. Our smells come through because of bacteria.
Right.
Yes, we all perforate. Is that what you would call it?
Perforate, yeah.
Perforate. So, I mean, it's natural, and some of us need help in that department, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, clove is really good for a lot of different things. I can't even remember all the rest of them, but look it up.
Yes. Okay, so I bring this out. We do have different forms of tobacco that's here. Tobacco is a great cleanse. It's a great smoke cleanse. It's a great offering, and I feel like people should use it more. This one that we carry is called Sweet Flag Root. It is actually used for toothaches. You can make it into a cough syrup. You can use it in your baths. It's great. And I've used tobacco in very serious cleanses for people.
Yeah, the serious ones that have generational and generations of stuff in them.
Or even again with grief. I know that we do burn tobacco. I take tobacco as an offering to my family members that have passed.
Also, this helps with closing, right?
Yes.
How do you call it? Not closing, but sealing. Sorry, sealing.
Yeah.
So, sealing your home, sealing yourself. So yeah, that works as well. So, so we do different types of cleanses, and there is no right cleanse. All right, there is different cleanses for different things.
I like that you put that out there, and not every cleanse works the same way for everybody.
Correct. And it's just a matter of finding what works for you. So you may have to do trial and error before you're able to find something that does work for you. But I do offer what I call a soul cleanse, and that is the deepest form that I know how to do, that I've been shown how to do, as far as removing roots of magic, roots of generational, roots of bloodline.
And past traumas for a lot of people. What we don't realize is, I don't know, this is going to sound silly, but have any of you guys seen that Bruce Lee movie where his dad never dealt with the demon, so then the demon then passed to him and he had to deal with it? We can carry those with us, and then they later pass on to our children.
Right.
And it's important for us to heal those traumas and those curses, because we don't want to leave them with them. As a parent, at least, my belief, I know your belief, is we try to do the best for our children. We try to
Well, they
protect
say
them.
we're the generation of breaking
Yes.
breaking binds and cords and curses that are generational, so that our kids can move forward and be better than without all the shit
Yes.
that's weighing them down. So yeah, so I do a soul cleanse, and then I also do just a regular cleanse. You know what I mean? It's just external, doesn't really need to be so deep. And then I know Miranda herself, she's the one that makes most of the baths here, so she does really good with that. You do the egg cleanses,
Yes.
which I'm gonna say again, which I've mentioned in the past, you will feel the stuff pulling off of you and going into the egg. It is crazy. It is a crazy feeling, but you will feel so good afterwards. You know, and we both do the candle cleanse, and right now that is what we're offering. You know, this next week is candle cleanse. You buy the candle, I think it's like $5, and we will do the cleanse for you for an additional 20.
Yes. My candle cleanses, depending on the ones, I know that I offer them with the regular pillar candles, and I know that we are going to be offering them with the glass. Just ask us about them. Again, our email, guys, hit up our email. Yes,
Even
I love
if
that
you are
put that
long
out there.
distance and you can't get some of this stuff, inbox us. We are willing to work with you, and we'll figure out shipping and all that. Like, we don't really have a shipping distribution center, but this is something that we will work with you to get you the things that you need or want.
And again,
Definitely.
that doesn't come down to us wanting to be a retailer. That comes down to us being given a gift, and we're willing to help you. We're willing to do what we can. I believe that we were gifted this gift for a particular reason, and we're here to help you. So, you know, whether that's furthering your craft or learning how to care for yourself, or just even caring for you because you don't know.
Right. So one last thing we have before we go is your space. Like, our space, we come through a lot of people that have a lot of shit on them. Okay, we come through people that are transients, people that are
have
druggies,
addictions. Yes.
alcoholism, people that just
Grief again. I
so
don't
many
wanna speak about
strong
grief.
emotions.
Yes.
You know, and they do
Trauma.
when we're cleaning them, it gets left here. So this is what we have rolling around in our shop, and she's got a napkin on it just because this one's been rolling.
This one's been rolling. I want to put it out there. I was taught this through my stepdad, who again is Boricua. He is also, part of the Santeria religion. But I was taught to use the coconut quite often. You can use it on your cards. You can use it in your home. I know of a particular bath. If you are suffering with mental health issues, you're feeling down, you can take the coconut. You're going to want to crack it, but you're going to save the milk. And then you're going to want to take bits of the flesh, and you're going to want to use the purest form of water that you can get.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to put that in there. And I'm sorry, this part's going to be rough. You're going to do your regular shower, cleanse all the dirt, all the other stuff off of you. And then you're going to take the mixture with the coconut and pour it over you. It does need to be cool water. Now, the reason we use cool water is because it's healing, it's refreshing,
it also seals it in.
Yes, it does. But that is a very powerful bath that you want to do, if you are suffering with that. A lot of new mothers, I've been there myself. Postpartum depression is real.
Mm-hmm.
And this will help with that. This is a very healing bath that we can do. And I've been taught to use the coconut with a lot of things. Again, that kind of comes through my own practices. But if you have questions and I'm able to share that with you, then I would be willing to share that with you.
Then it smells wonderful.
Yes.
I love coconut.
We feel like we're a little exotic. Just
right,
kidding.
right.
I'm on me and my exoticness. No.
Okay, and back on the floor it goes.
Yeah.
So that is what we have for you for cleansings.
Actually, I want to touch on this. Okay. So, cascarilla, or eggshell powder. This is wonderful. I have been taught to use it. I use it personally with my own egg cleanses. The Aztecs, there's a ritual bath that you can do where you light a candle, you throw some of this. You always want to throw this last, but you take rose petals. I know that there's another bath that we offer as well with citrus, but you want to put this in after, at the very end, or even use it to seal your body.
Mhm.
But cascarilla is used for these particular reasons. You can cleanse your home and then seal your home with this. So if you have any questions, again, direct them here.
See, and I use it when I know we're going somewhere or I'm dealing with somebody that's
It's a rough one.
very rough. I will get it and I will close off. You know, I cover my third eye, I cover God's mouth, I cover my palms, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I use it
so-
on my palms and my feet as well. I know that we can put them in different spiritual baths. I know a lot of people put them in with Florida water.
What were you saying you could put in your shoes?
Oh, brown paper bag with
Oh.
your goals on it, and just walk around with it, and you're
Okay. So after you've cleansed, in order to bring like more manifestation your way, and this is from
Our
Miss
shop owner.
shop owner herself. She is the goddess. Huh?
Yes.
So she says to get a brown paper bag and write all of your goals on it and put it in your shoes. This is going to bring them closer to you and you closer to them. Okay?
Okay.
So that's just what we're going to leave off with then.
Yes, yes. And again, we do offer different shops. We offer different shops, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me today. It's the moon. It's the moon.
Oh, yeah, the damn moon.
The moon. So if you are feeling a little bit off, you know, and you need extra help, come in and see us at the shop. We do offer all of these products that we just showed here. We are going to be doing our Witch Fest, so if you get a chance, come out to that. You can purchase these items then. If we do offer specials during that, where we will offer readings or cleanses, and we do them at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
So
Very, very reasonable.
I believe that they're very reasonable, and just because they're a little bit better priced does not mean that they're not worth it. Okay.
Yeah.
And we know what we're doing. We've dealt with it before, and in all honesty, don't be ashamed. You know, come in, ask,
We have heard it all.
We have.
heard it all.
and there's no judgment.
No judgment whatsoever. And it doesn't matter if, you know, I see the people that come in the most that are scared to ask for help is the people that are in their addiction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people in their addiction, they're still in it and they're asking for help. You know, we're not going to turn you away. We're not going to judge you. You know, we will do anything in our power that we can to help you, and the rest is on you. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for another episode. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys got some good information here. And this is all from our own knowledge. If we missed anything, comment or let us know in our email. We welcome all comments. We welcome all emails. And we are looking for people who would like to guest, like host, not guest host, but be a guest on one of our shows. If you have a gift that you think is very unique and you'd like to put it out there, let us know. You know, and
Yes.
we'll contact you.
And slowly we'll start introducing some people in our shop that we also work with.
Yes.
You know, we have again, it's a very close knit family.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to put that out there.
Right.
And then
Witch Fest,
Witch Fest, guys.
June 22nd, Sunday.
Sunday, yes, it's already here.
Yeah.
Again, we're inside the shop. If you want to meet us, come in the shop.
All right, and that is what we have. You guys have a good night.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that's good.
All right, turn us off.
If we know how to work things.
that was awesome. Loved it.
So much information.
My family was all on there. They're texting me.
I love it. Cece, those cough drops are amazing.
Right? Okay, so we can take our candles home. Burn them.
That can help, but a lot of times women go into labor naturally during full moons.